Hello and a very warm welcome to ET Studios. We are coming to you live from ET CIO Annual in Goa. I'm your host Divina Lasson. Now here on ET Studios, we are creating engaging and insightful interview series that dives deep into the world of technology trends, strategies and innovations through exclusive conversations with India's top tech leaders. Today we're here to talk about powering hyper-connected ecosystems, and this session is powered by Tata Communications. Now, in our increasingly digital world, connectivity and collaboration have transformed into a hyper-connected ecosystem. This ecosystem integrates various business processes and real-time information from customers, suppliers, partners and employees, providing valuable insights to complete today's dynamic business environment. Now, this interconnectedness fosters innovations through co-creation with ecosystem players and the integration of intelligence into products. All right, without any further ado, it's with great pleasure that I'd like to warmly welcome my guest today, who's going to tell us all about this and a lot more, Mr. Hari Nair, VP Solutions Engineering, Tata Communications. Hari, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you, Devina.
So thank you for joining us on ET Studios. We're here to talk about hyper-connected ecosystems.
Yep.
So at the onset, can you help us lay a foundation just to understand what does it mean today, in today's landscape, to have a hyper-connected ecosystem for organizations?
Yeah, for quite some time now, in terms of connection, all of us are connected. It's not just people who are connected, things are getting connected.
Yeah.
And the entire system, the ecosystem around that has to be on an end-to-end basis, right? The people have to get what they want at the right time. And for that, the entire hyper-connected ecosystem enables customers, users and employees all work together and have a kind of a seamless connectivity option. And that's the entire underlying theme of the hyper-connected ecosystem. Yep.
Sure, so it's all around us all the time.
Correct.
It's the entire world that we live in.
Correct.
So Hari, surely priorities for business leaders have evolved drastically and continue to evolve, especially with tech advancements and digital transformation coming into the foreground of all business strategies. So in your experience, what have you seen as the shifts in priorities for business leaders, and where does it stand today?
I think the expectation from business to actually get the services rolled out as quickly as possible to a very impatient end ecosystem is very, very important. And that requires a lot of agility at a base level, which the tech leaders have to build in. Now, technology per se already exists. All the components exist. Now, there are three main drivers every enterprise will look for, right? To start with, everyone wants to grow their business. There is a lot of agility which is to be achieved through that growth. The next is, the ability to actually improve productivity on a constant basis. Because of all this technology and capability which is coming in, can I actually do things faster, better, and ensure a good amount of customer experience for my customers? Yeah. Okay, so improving the entire customer ecosystem and the entire partnership around that is an area which we people focus on. And ultimately, all this, when we open up and we talk about the hyper-connected ecosystem, the entire system is kind of open. Yes. As a result, it is very important to secure this entire environment, okay? Because anyone can access anything today, and we hear a lot about it. How do you actually ensure that you give that agility and flexibility to your business, but still be able to secure it and ensure that you meet the compliance needs of the country?
Yeah, yep. Absolutely. So keeping in mind all these very dynamic parts that keep changing and keep evolving, and as you said, customer centricity is really the key for every organization today. Surely there's a lot of challenges that organizations face, that you face in fact. So can you take us through some of the customer challenges that you've come across in recent times?
Correct. To start with, I'll tackle it one by one. In fact, from a challenger's perspective, the expectation to actually serve has to be quite rapid, right?
Yes.
And the ability to change and actually offer that to your customers in a timely manner, and as tech leaders also to support that from your technology assets is going to be a key area. So understanding the workflow, the persona who you are dealing with is going to be super important. And once that persona is identified, you actually create a simple workflow for them to actually get that integrated and rolled out to the market very effectively. That's that's a very, very important challenge, which tech leaders are constantly thinking and improving. And the whole productivity issue has come into actually, because when tech comes, obviously there is a lot of play on productivity which you can bring in. Now, the expectation are usually growing 2x, right? What you could have done in 20 days, you're now expected to do it in 2. Okay, I would say, that's the long-term expectation. So, that's something which people are in the journey of doing.
Yeah. Well, hearing these challenges, and I'm sure the list actually goes on, there must be a lot of very nuanced challenges as well. So keeping all this in mind, how are you helping your customers really embrace their digital transformation and get ready to be a future digital organization?
So we look at it holistically from the whole connected space. When we look at it from connecting the user, connecting the actually employee serving that user, the entire ecosystem of partners who has to support that user. Yeah. In addition to that, how do you actually ensure that the various components, like ultimately you have to have a smarter network, you have to have a smarter infrastructure. There's a lot going on cloud, but how do you actually balance and ensure that it's cost effective, at the same time be able to provide the necessary service in a more agile fashion? That's another area which we actually concentrate on. And finally, there is a lot of activity which is happening on the edge because of the amount of data which is generated by things, the connected ecosystem around that. How do you actually ensure that you actually bring that in to the central place for execution, at the same time be able to address it more effectively? Yeah. Now, in the customer part, what we have done is we have created a customer interactive platform. The entire model is to actually ensure that we abstract customer applications and be able to actually offer that at a platform level. Yeah. This is something which we are seeing a lot of traction in the market for. Yeah.
So in addition to this, what are some of the other areas that you're investing in order to provide this hyper-connected ecosystem for your customers?
So one thing which Tatacom has been doing for a very long time is around the fact that we switch a lot of internet traffic around the world. That gives us access to visibility of how much of attacks happen around the world. Yes. Now that is an intelligence which we have kind of derived from that, their entire system which we actually manage. And how do I, provide that as a service for our customers so that, before they are actually impacted, can I give certain AI, ML, intelligence back to the customer saying that, this is a possibility of an attack. So from a security and the security portfolio, can I automate the entire security landscape? That's one key area which we focus on. In terms of the area around the customer interaction platform, we noticed that customers had a very complex ecosystem of communicating with their end users, and that entire space, we had multiple channels. So you had WhatsApp channel, SMS channel, voice channel, call centers we call to. So what we have given solutions to, in fact, one of the largest food delivery apps use our system in order to actually, and look at that transaction. The transaction, and we all order food. Yeah. Every transaction, time is maximum 1.5 hours. You better get it, otherwise, there will be a party which you may have built and it will not work, and there will be a lot of dissatisfaction. So how do they actually ensure that the customer is kept informed in case there is a delay? How you can actually do better support system. Yeah. So the entire ecosystem involves over lakh restaurants, over close to 3 lakh end food soldiers there who are actually delivering these, and the entire system of the multiple call center people who have to actually interact back and ensure that they deliver a seamless service. Yeah. So these are some very interesting areas which we help our customers on.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you for that example, and maybe we can further elaborate on any examples, any case studies, in addition, of course, food delivery is such a good way to paint the picture.
Right.
But in your opinion, a best in practice case study of a hyper-connected ecosystem that you've come across, is there something you can share?
So something which we have been doing for Formula One for many years. It's a very unique situation because it's 23 races which happen across the world, and it has to be, and it is cutting edge. When you talk about technology, from every respect, every race cars have multiple sensors who have to actually give that data to their respective teams, and in addition to that, the entire production of that entire ecosystem and getting it delivered to fans. Formula One, the delivery is to close to 500 million people around the year.
Worldwide.
So it's a massive scale in which you cover the entire connectivity, ensure that the data is produced in the right fashion at a centralized place, the data center management around that, the entire ecosystem of securing that environment and providing it in a very, very time-bound event-based system. So that's another area which we have seen a lot of our services come together in order to offer the customer the ultimate delivery.
Fantastic. So Hari, as we slowly come to wrap, we've discussed various points. It's been really insightful. In your experience and in your opinion, what does the future of a hyper-connected ecosystem look like to you?
Okay, that's a very interesting question.
It's not a small one.
It's not a small one. So if I were to say a looking glass view, from a perspective that we see a lot of elements coming together. So when we talk about customer connected ecosystem, when it comes to the entire thing, that is the IoT and the entire industrial IoT space, there's a lot of activity which is going to merge, and it has to become easier for the users and be more efficient for customers to actually run this. And in order to do that, what we expect is, we expect a digital fabric to come through, which will actually connect all these elements together and provide a kind of a seamless play out. Now, ultimately, that has to play out from a perspective that all this has to be done in a secure manner, and it has and that we see that play out. That is something which we do see a lot of activity, and in the future, this entire ecosystem has to be quite seamlessly.
Absolutely. Right. Well, that's really interesting. Digital fabric is something that organizations will look out for. So as we wrap up, what can you give as one sort of key takeaway for organizations to look for when it comes to developments in hyper-connected ecosystem? One key takeaway.
I think there is ultimately it has to be persona driven. People, the end user, who's kind of is going to be the man in the center. Or the woman in the center, who's going to be able to actually get that experience out, and everyone trying to create workflows in order to help them actually achieve what they are trying to achieve in a timely manner. That's going to be the big play.
Fantastic. Hari, thank you so much. It's really been a pleasure to have you here today.
Thanks, Devina.
Thank you for your insights.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that's all we have for you today, with a lot of deep insights, but do stay tuned to ET Studios for many more exciting conversations where we give you the exclusive opportunity to gain valuable insights from the most influential tech leaders in India who are driving technological advancements in their industries. Until next time, many thanks for watching.